Yo, welcome to another episode of the Bjj Goons podcast. I'm your host, Tim, the Mushmaster Spriggs, and with me, as always, every week is...
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Nico Ball. No new Nico. Glad to be back. I love the way that you do, like, the start of the show. It makes me feel like I'm a very important person, like, next to you every week. Da-da-da-da. It's dope.
You should feel important. You're a very important part of the show. You're one half of the team here.
I'm a very important part of the world, Tim.
That's even better. I agree. You are a very important part of the world. I mean, as much as you can as a single individual human being, you do play an important role. And I think everyone plays an important role in the world in their own special kind of way.
That's very true. Very true. I mean,
I sound so positive and
I know.
so
I was gonna say.
happy.
I was gonna say you sound
It's
like you
such
tripping on
bullshit.
some mushrooms or something like
Well,
that.
I
Like,
do have mushrooms. I have mushrooms on my shirt, as you guys can see on the video.
oh yeah, I was like, what are you doing? You popping something? You're trying to hop up over
No,
the
that was
computer,
definitely my
yeah.
shoulder,
You got the psychedelic.
tie dye. Got a tie dye shirt. I'm
Have you
kind
ever
of a
been to a
hippie.
festival?
No, I've never been to a psychedelic festival in my life.
I mean,
No.
it doesn't. Like, are festivals like normally psychedelic? I think it's just normally like you go to a music festival of any kind. Like, uh, I don't want to say it's just white people that have festivals because there's like rock the bells and stuff like that. But I don't. Not the same as like a rock festival, I guess. But just outdoors all day doing drugs. I've only ever seen it on TV.
I've never done that before.
I've
I kind of I'm very straight edge, except I had 3 glasses of wine before the show started. That's why I feel so like I feel really chill. I think that should be a new tradition of the show where it depends on what time that we record. If it's like in the middle of the day, I cannot be drinking in the middle of the day. That's not responsible. And typically, I have my pro wrestling training or some kind of training in the evening.
the no longer secret training.
Oh yeah, I told everybody. Well, I told people when I was recording this top secret project for Flow. But yeah, I'm a professional wrestler now. I'm starting to get booked, and the worlds are starting to blur. And I like it that way because one hand feeds the other. Well, really, they don't feed each other, but one definitely feeds the other. One is way more lucrative than the other, and it's pretty dope.
Wait, one hand? Are you talking about like jujitsu on one hand and wrestling on the other?
Okay, so jujitsu is not gonna feed. Maybe I used the wrong term, but jujitsu definitely helps my professional wrestling career because it brings legitimacy to who I am as a wrestler.
You're a certified shooter.
I'm a shooter, yes,
Certified.
but wrestling doesn't support jujitsu so much because jujitsu people kind of don't care, and wrestling is way more established and jiu-jitsu people don't give a shit about but it's a overlap, but it's not enough where I could be getting 2 huge bags from each. I think the big bag, I know for sure the big bag is in wrestling.
Because there's no bag in jujitsu. Let's just be clear
For
on
me
that.
right now, there is potentially a big bag, but I have to negotiate it. I'm getting asked to do these matches with people,
With
and
people, with people, you know how many messages I've got this week? And be like, yo, so Tim and Craig friends? I was like, why don't you ask me? Like, you see what is on that man's shirt.
we're not friends, but
But it's just funny how
he's
many
a fan of
messages
mine. At a certain point, if my name is on your chest
on his merch.
and my name is in your mouth, that's the same as if you're a groupie or you're one of my homegirls.
Yo, you
Like,
better trademark your name, son.
I mean, you could I don't know. How would I even necessarily have to trademark my name?
I mean, if you trademark your name, but like you have to do when you do trademarks, you have to do it for the category in the industry. Like, so if you trademark your name, Tim Spriggs, you would have to trademark it for apparel, for like T-shirts, and then he wouldn't be able to sell merch with it. It's a little bit different
That'd be a
than.
nice 3D chess move / dick move.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
every
Trademark
time you
your
say
name.
my name, you
You,
have to pay me.
James Vick has Run Up and Get Done Up trademarked.
That's actually genius.
Yeah.
I should probably get some things trademarked.
It's expensive, but I mean, like, I have trademarks. I invested
How
in it.
much do you think it would cost to get my name
Like
trademarked?
2 grand.
2,000, that's it?
That's not an it, but like when I tell you like for a category, like so it's
For
like
a
it's not
specific
like websites, it's
category.
not like instructional DVDs, it's not like, but
Why
like what
does
do
it
you really
cost so
need it?
much if it's your fucking name?
Cause it's trademarking. It's like you gotta do the paperwork. Generally, when you do trademarks, I did it through like LegalZoom or something like that. So you pay them to do
Yeah.
the fees. Yeah, and like business is expensive. Like that's
Everything's expensive. Everything costs money.
everything does. Everything does.
Two
But you know,
people, two people hooked up back in the early 90s, and now I gotta pay bills and handle all this business.
are you like, are you having suicidal thoughts? Are you regretting your life, Tim? Is that what I'm
I
hearing?
don't regret shit.
Wait, two people hooked up in the 90s?
I was born in like early 1990. Yeah.
Oh,
My
man.
parents, and now I'm here, and I gotta pay all these bills and shit.
I mean, do you have to pay your own bills, or are you now a kept man, Tim Spriggs?
I'm not a kept man yet. I
Mm.
have too much pride to be kept. I mean, there's perks to having women that, or a woman that likes you enough to take you nice places and take you shopping. Well, I pay for the clothes, but like, have someone to guide you on how to look
Oh, I
and how
thought
to
you were
look
being kept
nice.
by an Asian man, not a woman. I thought this was more like survivor's remorse type, you know?
No, no,
Yes. I know.
no, I
So,
don't.
yes, I'm right. He's
I'm not getting kept by a man. What do I look like? Do I look like Craig Jones and going Ryan to you where I got a sugar daddy? Come on now, Nico. Well, enough with the chit chat, man. I don't want to get in any kind of more rants because on this secret project that I did with Flo, I talked enough shit. Well, it's not talking shit if I'm defending myself and if I'm telling the truth.
yes, and
But you have a
because of
lot of stuff planned for
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
episode.
Sorry about to everybody that we missed a week. We're late with this episode. We thought we had a backup episode locked up on his computer, but you know, Tim's getting gone for the last 2 weeks. I'm actually heading off soon. We can talk a little bit more about that later, but we just wanted to catch up on some of the sports, not sports.
The
My
sport.
bad. I was watching football last night for the first time in a really long time, and of course my Cowboys got like their asses handed to
It
them.
wasn't that bad. They only lost by 10.
By 10, but they got intercepted in like the last 10 seconds too. It's just like
Well, that's
horrible.
garbage time. That's a garbage time pick. That don't count.
Yeah. So while you were away on your secret mission,
Mm.
Abu Dhabi World Pro was happening in Abu Dhabi, obviously. And oddly enough, there was some weird tournament like Jiu-Jitsu International Federation had another world championship that was like the week before Abu Dhabi. So a lot of Angolan athletes that I follow, they were in Abu Dhabi like a whole week earlier. But they had some really dope fights there. I assume you were busy and didn't catch any of them.
I didn't catch any of the international tournament, but I caught results of Abu Dhabi World Pro.
Oh, so like at least you knew it was happening, cause like I saw How was posting a countdown to Worlds, and I was like, "Yo, World Pro is happening right fucking now. Put some respect on it. Stop treating it like Thanksgiving. Like, swear, it's a world championship. You're getting a world title. They have belts. They have championships, and like literally, I feel like it's just so disrespected. Like Starbucks that like got rid of pumpkin spice and already has its Christmas flavors. Like, can we just pay a
For
little
real?
respect? Yeah, you got that eggnog latte if you're into capitalism like that.
No, I just get the blonde white mocha.
But they
When
have
I
so many. I like the what is it that like chestnut praline's really good.
Oh, you get that fancy
Oh,
shit.
I do. How
I'm
hates that
so
shit
glad I
too.
don't have to work at Starbucks right now because I would have failed miserably working at Starbucks.
I find it so hilarious that you did work at Starbucks and you didn't freaking tell me.
For like a day.
But there was like you obviously went and applied. There was a process. But
They
anyways, some people that put in work was Gabby and Yara fought once again.
they always fight.
They always do. Gabby came out on top. She claimed the belt and then was spotted on a jet ski in Abu Dhabi. And like that's really how you flex with it. She took the belt and her medal out into the ocean. Is it a real ocean, or is it artificial?
I'd have to look at a map. I'm not very good with geography. I think it's probably man-made. A lot of the stuff there, they have so much money that they create it. Cause I think they have indoor ski resorts.
They have everything there.
They have everything. If you're rich, you can have everything, anything, anyone that you want. Think about it. They're that rich, all from oil. Just putting all that bad stuff in the atmosphere. But continue.
Yeah, yeah. So, I know you heard about Mika. I should. Oh, wow.
Mika,
Yeah,
Michael.
Mika Galval. As much as I go on you for your inability to pronounce Brazilian names, I really just butchered that one. But
Butchered
he
it.
got first in the 77 kilogram division. For the friend that asked me about Levi Jones, and I was like, oh my God, is he from the favela or Africa? Why would I know how that white boy is doing in this competition?
Hold on, what? Wait. Somebody thinks he's from Africa?
No, somebody thought that I might give a fuck as to how his fights were going in Abu Dhabi and asked me. And I was like, boy, he is not from the favela, he's not black, and he's not from Africa. I have no idea what Levi Jones is doing. I was
Well,
like, but I do. He came in second. Espen Matheson from Norway came in. No, came in second, and Levi came in third in that division.
yeah, man. That was the that was the division I was paying attention to because I'm becoming a big Micah Galvao fan. I believe he's one of the best guys in the world. Definitely one of the best middleweight slash lightweights in the world. He ran through that division. He triangle choked Levi Jones Leary, and Levi kind of left his hand in between the legs of Micah Galvao. However, once Michael Galvao locked that diamond, it was over. That kid is a beast. And then he took Espen Matheson's foot home. And Espen Matheson is very high level. Top 10 in his division in the world. You could argue top 4 maybe. Guy's a beast. And Michael just ran through those guys. And the interesting thing about Micah is that he's very good at gi or no gi. I observed his final against Tyrell Tolo at who's number 1. Very close, hotly contested match. Some may argue that he won that match. I wouldn't, but it was still close. Went to judge decision. He grappled for 30 minutes. The kid's good in gi or no gi. And what we're about to see in the next 5 years is that kids that are growing up doing jiu-jitsu, pure jiu-jitsu, are going to start taking over gi and no gi. It's not going to matter that you just do leg locks all the time and you're a no gi guy. Eventually, the no-gi guys that are just no-gi are going to get wiped off the map because gi and no-gi jiu-jitsu are about to converge again. Before it was a split, but now kids are coming up doing the gi. They have the fundamentals down, and they're practicing no-gi, and they're doing the leg locks. And that's going to become more of a part of traditional jiu-jitsu. And I think Micah Galvao and Tyrell Tolo are a part of that movement. That's going to be a future rivalry. If Micah doesn't bulk up. I don't think he's going to get much bigger, but we'll see.
He's only 18 years old.
Only 18?
That's what I was looking up on BJJ Heroes. He's 18 years old. He's from Manaus. There is a lot of amazing athletes that are coming out of Manaus. It's hot as hell. There's nothing to do there but train. But yeah, he was born October 8th, 2003. He is a Libra, ladies.
Oh, man. He almost has the same birthday as me.
Yeah, he started training when he was 10 years old. That is wild because he was in Brazil even before he made it to the U.S. and people started realizing who he was, like snapping black belt's arms in Brazil, like, which is really wild. In the 85 kilogram division, Izaki Bayense from the Dream Art Squad took first place. 94 kilo division, Eric Muniz, another young one, defeated Adam Wardinsky for first place.
That's a big win. Adam's really tough. Really good.
Yeah, very much so. I've seen him competing. I've run into him every time that I'm traveling internationally at a competition. It's amazing to think some of these people, how long they have been competing all over the world for so long. If you once you start traveling a lot, you realize traveling really sucks.
Traveling does suck. I hate flying. I can't stand all the traveling. I don't like the day before you fly, where you gotta make sure you check and double check all your stuff, and it's just very stressful. So much anxiety for me just dealing with the travel, and if I'm gone for a while, I miss home. I like being in my own bed. I like being around my stuff. I didn't even get to enjoy this new TV that I had mounted with the sound system. I haven't even had time to set up the studio and finish it yet. Like, this whole setup you're seeing right now is about to be kaput in a month or two. Ugh, I can't.
Yeah,
Traveling sucks. And then, like,
it
you're not
does.
traveling for fun. You're working.
Yep, that's that's what everybody thinks. I go to Brazil for fun. But moving on to the 120 kilogram division. Speaking about Brazil, Gutenberg Pereira, who recently moved back to Brazil, defeated Walter dos Santos, who is an Angolan athlete, for first place. Walter took, I don't know if it's the third or the fourth time he was nominated the best black belt in Africa. So that was really dope.
That's a huge deal because Africa is a giant continent.
Yeah, and a lot of the top ranked athletes from Africa are all from Angola, which is really dope because I do a lot of work with GF Team Angola and I follow a lot of the athletes.
He moved back.
And what?
No, no. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
not just the athletes, but I guess like the coaches, like which is really dope. I was also talking to DJ. And DJ was hating on this man because I guess he was at the Abu Dhabi Awards the same year that the Panda had that like really floral jacket. You remember, like he got in his award, like everybody's like in chic's black suits, ties, and then he goes out with like this bright green jacket, and then like DJ was salty. He's like, "Yo, I thought I was just good," but then he comes and shows me up. I was like,
Don't hate the player, hate the
"Oh,
game.
and you know how it is. You know how it is."
Yeah.
What was DJ talking about? Something. I think he was talking about rocking his Timbs in Thailand for something. I don't even
Man,
know.
his feet gonna be hot as hell in Thailand.
But it was he had to do some work. It was like traditional TLI or something. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to bust out the Timbs," which was hilarious.
He's the only one that busts out Tim's on the regular. No one else busts out Tim's. That's not a TLI tradition. The footwear is usually expensive ass sneakers like Jordans or Nike Dunks. Like, I wear Vans. Like, not
That's because you.
anymore. Not anymore. I actually invested
Yeah,
in a
have you ever
wardrobe.
owned a pair of Timbs, Tim?
Yeah, I have a pair of Tims in my closet.
When was the last time you wore them?
Last winter,
Okay.
but they weren't the butter Tims. They were the Earthkeeper Tims.
Okay.
They're a
Well,
little
we
bit more
need to take you to New York
stylish.
and take you Tim shopping. With some real people
No,
from the Bronx.
no, my feet are too delicate to wear those big old stompers or whatever. Sorry, not wearing the butter Tims. Proceed.
On to
Proceed.
the ladies. 55 kilograms. Ana Rodriguez from Dream Art takes first place after defeating Rose El Sharoni from the Netherlands, who I know of because somebody. Oh my God, Bianca took third in that division. That's crazy.
Bianca Basilio.
Mm-hmm.
She fought Anna Rodriguez in the semis, correct?
Yeah.
That's a tough matchup, man. Anna's good.
Yeah.
She's building up that Dream Art team, man. They're that system. It's an ideal training environment. All you got to worry about is training and education, and everything else is taken care of. That's exactly how you run a professional team in the sports world. If all you got to worry about is performing, takes all the other side hustles and side problems away.
It's a beautiful thing to have that focus.
I wish.
Alright, moving on up, 62 kilograms. Beatrice Bia Mesquita wins her seventh belt. That is wild. She is amazing. She beat Marga Ciccarelli from Italy, who is actually someone I follow on Instagram. I guess it was her girlfriend that was posting some like actually really informative stuff about how to deal with like sexual assault and things like that. She was one of those non-narcissistic, self-aggrandizing assholes that I found out there. So it was really dope to be able to watch those two on their stories out there
Wonderful.
in Abu Dhabi. And Bia, unfortunately, also choked out an athlete that I work with for Vela Jiu-Jitsu, Julia Alves from GF Team. She's a really strong athlete. Sucked to see her get choked out, but Bia is amazing, so it was really dope to see those two girls go at it.
No shame losing to the GOAT.
70 kilograms was taken by Ingrid Souza from Brazil. Not sure who that is, I'm not going to lie. And at the 95 kilograms, we know that Gabby Pisania won, beating Yara Yasamento. And in third place is another girl that I follow and I promote a lot on Favela Jiu-Jitsu. Her name, it says here, is Catucia Diaz. But that's Yaz Diaz. You can find her on Instagram. She lives in Portugal, but she's Ghanaian. And
Guyanese.
Yeah.
Or from Ghana. Is she
no,
from Ghana or
Guinea,
Guyana?
Guinea.
New Guinea? Or Guinea-Bissau?
Guinea-Bissau.
Alright.
Yeah, hard to say. So, like, when we're talking about representation matters, which is something that I hashtag or talk about all the time, I'm going to talk about that on some upcoming episodes and whatnot. That's just a really dope bracket for me.
That's really sick, man. Jiu-Jitsu's becoming more international and just so colorful. Don't you just love it, Nico?
I do. Like I said, like, I feel like this competition was definitely downplayed. And I don't know why. It's like I have an athlete from Today Kids Project that hit me up about going to Europeans. Plane tickets and Europeans is in Italy this year, which sucks. Because that's when I go and buy all my hats from Pelcor, is when I go to Europeans. A ticket from Brazil to Italy is like $1,000 minimum.
$1,000?
$1,000 minimum. And this competition is in 2 months. And it's like, yeah, we might be able to do something, but sweetie, you need to start doing like that AGP tour where they're going to pay your ticket to Abu Dhabi. They will pay your way. Fuck IBJJF.
I might just start doing AGB tour if I start doing gi again. I mean, it's not about me. We're talking about the athletes, but
I mean,
it's looking good.
When you think about like needing money and needing to get around to compete and to travel, and like federations that really take care of their athletes, like IBJJF never pays out anything. Like Abu Dhabi pays out at all their tournaments, at all the Grand Slams, and then all of the winners get flown to Worlds and put up in hotels.
Man, we need to talk to Master Lloyd and say, we need to get the guys some dough so they can stay in the game.
Yeah.
If I was a young grappler at this point in the game, with everything that's changing in the landscape, you're right. It might have to be fuck IBJJF.
I mean,
money talks.
I mean, when you think about like, when I say representation matters, and this is why it matters, it's like most people are pushing like Worlds and IBJJF or who's number one because like that's what the media pushes. Like in politics, we have at least more than one media channel. In Jiu-Jitsu, we have Flow Grappling. So, Flow Grappling focuses on Worlds. And, ADCC and like what they put the most attention to is what like people put the most attention to. And they're talking about like, oh, this is going to be like, this might be the best Worlds ever. It's like, why? Why the fuck would this?
Who said that?
Flow,
this year's Worlds?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was an article on Flow Grappling. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
And it's just like, that's just myopic. It's a very myopic point of view of just like, but that's what you do. Like when you're researching Worlds and like as a journalist and you're like, oh, we're going to look at the brackets. We need to make it exciting. That's your job. That's their job. But it's as like a consumer's job. It's to be like kind of critical. And it's like Worlds, like, I don't know. To me, IBJJF Worlds has the prestige of a title. Like, as our team, we fight for that world champion. But, like, what did it get you?
The no-gi world title didn't do much. And according to Muhammad, when he won gi worlds, it didn't do much for him either.
Okay, but what is a world pro title going to get you?
That's Skrilla.
Yeah, so it's like... But who in America has made any effort to go fight AGP Tour? But like anybody in Brazil, it's just as common as IBJJF. It's considered kind of just as prestigious. And I know a lot of, like, they don't have as many competitions. But like in Europe, it's like the only thing they've had. Because IBJJF hasn't been functioning out there at all. So it's like, it's a very American thing to think. I don't know.
You just got to get in when you fit in.
Get in where you're going to get paid, y'all. Get in where you're going to get paid for real, too. And I think, like, as an FT athlete, that's just historically our problem. always wanting to compete. There's competitions where you're gonna get paid. And as somebody that has to like try to help fund for these athletes, like I don't know how. Gabby Pisania, she's an amazing athlete, but like props to her coach because like she never goes alone. Like they roll deep from the city of God. Like it was, she was on that jet ski and like, and I love seeing this. It just almost brings tears to my eyes. But two other girls from the city of God, like riding on jet skis, and like they come from nothing. Like, I'm not talking about PG County, like, Kilmo, like, you kind of ghetto, but you not really, like, or you kind of, like, poor, but you still got money. Like, they really come from nothing and have to deal with, like, a lot of oppression and a lot of, like, bullshit. So it's just awesome to see them riding around on jet skis with gold medals and actual checks. Other than that, yeah, that's all I have for Abu Dhabi, yeah.
Well, more power to these people getting that paper. Yeah, no matter what anybody says about Gee being dead, it's not dead. It's just not getting the media attention. In a lot of ways, the environment is more cutthroat and in a lot of ways more exciting because in the Gee, I don't think they give a shit about clout so much. It's every week, every month, these guys are fighting for money. They're getting flued out. They get good production. They're getting treated well. And it's the best fighting the best. And it's a damn shame that we don't hear more about it. And for all my girl power shorties out there, we have the best female competitors in the world doing that circuit. We have the best rivalry in jiu-jitsu with Gabby Pisania and Yara fighting every month. We're spoiled. Every month they're fighting each other, and we're spoiled as jiu-jitsu observers. How many times do you think we got to see Cabrinha versus Hoffa in their prime fight each other? Maybe twice, 3 times a year at best. We got the best people in the world in the gi fighting all the time, and they're getting paid, and it makes you feel good watching it. But yeah, representation matters, so shout out to them, and you never know. Once this no-gi excursion is finished and I'm finished getting these bags, you may see me on that AJP tour. Who knows? It looks like fun to me.
It is. I mean, and like that's a good way to look at it too. For you, someone that said like you're retired, just come back, have some fun with it. Use it to travel, get some money, claim another world title maybe.
Do you think that it counts as a world title? I'm at the point now where there's so many promotions. It's kind of like boxing where there's different promotions and there's different world titles, and you can't really say that one is illegitimate or one is more legitimate than the other because it's all about competition. I'm of the school now in 2021 with jiu-jitsu that, yeah, you can win a European title, a Pan title for IBJJF or a world title, but if you don't fight anybody, doesn't mean as much. If there's no money being put on the line, you're kind of an amateur athlete. And if we're talking about amateurism, I mean, there's a reason why NBA gets more clout and gets more attention than NCAA because there's money on the line, there's higher stakes, and there's more money being invested. And yeah, you could say, well, this guy didn't show up. Well, this guy didn't get invited. Or this guy had a chance, they didn't do it, and they sacrificed the opportunity because they wanted to do something else for more tradition. What are your thoughts on that before we wrap?
I mean, I got one more thing to ask you before we wrap too. I'm just gonna throw that in there real quick.
Okay.
But more kind of like a black belt wisdom closing up though.
Okay.
But a question style. I think going back to like what I said about being a student of FT, and FT is notorious. Like TT was started because Fabio Gugel wouldn't let Terere fight competitions for money, and Terere was poor. He needed the fucking money.
Message.
Terere has done nothing but put back into his family and his community with the money that he's had. So to deny a man a chance to fight to feed your family is basically what happened. And it happened when TT started, and it happened with like Fernando Tedede started. Like both times were because of money. Like, so to me, especially at the point where I am, it's like, yo, I would like to be elite at every belt level, you know, like I might not be like a world champion at every belt level at this point because like, you know, I'm masters in my 30s and I have like jobs, but like I would prefer to focus my time and energy where I'm at, like getting money and traveling because I like to. But like I also understand where like Master Lloyd comes from, and it's like IBJJF used to be like historically like you'd get great brackets because all of the athletes
Mm-hmm.
were there, and like the opportunity cost of like trying to travel around the world to do like AJP tour, because I think it is more of like in America there's not as many tour dates, I don't think, as in like, you know, when you're in Europe, like going to the different countries is easy. So it's kind of like a difference of like where you're at. But
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, I think it's hard. Like I would bounce back and forth between, like if I was younger, I don't feel like I would be able to get to like Europe, or like I would think about leaving the country to like compete in an AJP tour. But now as an adult, it's like why would I go to IBJJF where I could not only be like in Italy, I could be paid.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. We are entertainers, you know. Uh, I went to a Larry June concert, right? Larry June is one of the best rappers in the world. He's not performing for free. He's performing in front of sold out crowds and getting that bag. You know, we don't work for free. Slavery's over.
And at the same time, I think what my issue is, like, I'm tired of seeing the same people fight the same people. Like, I'm tired of these brackets. I want to see some of the athletes that I love to watch, like the Walter Santos, Anna Nelton, and like Mario Stefan, and like I would like to see them come and go up against the DDS. Like, I would like to see a little bit more of a shakeup with that. Like, you know, in the female decision, like Amal from Belgium, she's a
Hmm.
black belt, amazing athlete. Like one time she was coming to Worlds and like her coach's visa had issues, and she was like, I'm not fighting, I'm not coming without him. You know, so that shit happens a lot, and it like it doesn't impact the sport, and it impacts like the sport that we're getting to see.
Exactly. And, you know, we live in a world, we live in the outside world, and everything plays a factor, and we got to be willing to adapt. What did you want to ask me?
Speaking of adaptation, so we have another Randori event coming up on January 22nd.
Yes.
So, if fighters, if you're interested, you can still register. It is a super fight format. So you put in your name, and they'll come back up with a matchup. You don't have to worry so much about cutting weight, and all of that ish. But I have finally got a squad of people to sign up. And for some of them, it's going to be their first competition, and they're working on some kind of game plan. I'm not sure if they got like a format or a workbook or something from someone. But like I wanted to ask you for like, and this is definitely not for black belts. I do not want high level competition. Speak to the white belts, the blue belts, you know. Not even the purple belts, y'all. Y'all get too much love. What do you think is the first step in a game plan? Like if you're trying to figure out your game plan and you are well, not lost, because if you probably think you know what you're doing. But if you're a white belt or a blue belt, what do you think is the first step?
Finding what you are effective at in the room and building from there. In our minds, we could say that we're comfortable doing one thing or we know how to do another thing, but if you ask your coach and if you review your footage, whether it's in practice or on the mats at competition, you're going to find what gives you the most success and build from that. I realize that I'm a takedown and a guard passing guy. I know how to play guard. I know how to do a lot of things, but at one point, my point or my path to victory was I'm going to take you down or force you to pull, and I'm going to pass your guard. And if I can't pass your guard, I'm going to make you want to give it up, or I'm just going to keep going after you until you give it up. And that's the most important part. Find what you're effective at, build from there, and build your game around it. Save all that special shit that is experimental, or that pure jujitsu where you sit to your butt and you play guard. You want to be fancy. Save that shit for practice. But if you're trying to win, you find out what the hell you're good at, build from there.
Solid advice. That's real solid advice.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
awesome. All right. Any other announcements or things you want to add?
I just want to say that shout out to John's Fit Meals. John's Fit Meals is a local meal prep company. You go to johnsfitmeals.com, use promo code Bjj Goons for a very special discount, and make sure you use Blue Edge Solutions. Blue Edge Business Solutions help me with my website, timspriggsbjj.com, where you can find match critiques. I can create game plans for you, and you can book me for a private lesson, both in person or virtual, or a seminar at your academy. Nico, where can we find you?
All right, you guys can follow me on Instagram at no new Nico. That's no_new_Nico. Make sure to stop by favelajujitsu.com. I am going to be sliding out on my own secret mission right after Thanksgiving. Once I get back, we're going to be dropping new merch. And then we have some Bjj Goons merch that's going to be coming out also on favelajujitsu.com. And hopefully we'll be selling it at Randori. So make sure to stop by if you are in the DMV area. Again, that's January 22nd, and that's going to be at the Doubletree Hilton in Annapolis.
Yeah, and you can find me at Instagram at timspriggsbjj, and make sure you follow me, you like all my posts, and ask Instagram, why the fuck didn't you give Tim Spriggs BJJ a blue check? This has been the BJJ Goons podcast. See you next time.
Oh, I thought we were at the... Damn, I threw up the piece too soon. Peace.